Hello, everyone. It's Monday, May 19th, 2025, and this is the Scituate News Update. I'm Karen Connolly from the Scituate Select Board. Here with me today is Jim Boudreau, our town administrator, and Maria Fenwick from the school committee. This week, coming up for town side meetings, the Conservation Commission is meeting tonight, as is the Economic Development Committee. Tomorrow, the 20th, the Water Resources Committee is having a meeting, and the Public Building Commission is having a meeting. On the 21st, the Shellfish Advisory Committee will be meeting, as will the Affordable Housing Trust. And finally, on Thursday, the Planning Board meeting is happening, as is the Historical Commission meeting. As everyone's well aware, I suppose, that Memorial Day is coming up on May 26th, and I would like to encourage everyone to attend if you can. Details are on the town website, but it's a wonderful event to honor those people who have served their country and fallen. And it's very touching, and as many people as possible to be there on Lawson Common, it would be a great thing. So please show up if you can. And finally, the town election is coming up on May 31st. It's a little late this year, but that's because of Memorial Day. And there are two select board seats open, and they're both contested. So I think it's important that people go to vote on May 31st. If you can't, there is still absentee voting available. Look on the town clerk's website for information about how you can vote absentee. But certainly, it's important that as many people as possible go and vote at the town election. And now I'll turn it over to Jim Boudreau, our town administrator. Jim?
Good morning. Thank you. Water treatment plant update. We're moving along. As we said last week, the structural steel has started to go in the south end of the building. The masons are still there. There's a ton of work going on the site. So please check in. We do post updates from the engineers every Friday. Get a little more information on what's going on. But the plant right now is still on time and on budget. That's the most important thing. As Karen mentioned, the 31st is the town election. Aside from the usual boards and committees, there are two ballot questions on there that people should be aware of. The first one is a non-binding ballot question about the disposal of radioactive materials at the old Plymouth nuclear plant. The second question is a debt exclusion override for the town share of the new Votech High School. Scituate voted overwhelmingly to authorize construction of the new school at the election in January. This question allows us to fund the capital project outside of the normal tax levy, which is what we normally do with questions and ballot questions of this type. Karen said Memorial Day is the 26th. Festivities kick off at 8 o'clock with the laying of the wreath from the harbor master's office in the harbor. That is to remember those lost at sea. Parade forms at 10 at the town hall. Kicks off at 10:30 up First Parish Road to the Common. Festivities at the Common start at 11:15. In case of inclement weather, the festivities will take place in the senior center starting at 11 o'clock. This Wednesday, May 21st, the Jenkins School will be having their first spring walk and roll to school event to celebrate the school's new bike racks that were funded in part through a grant from the Commonwealth. Traffic will be stopped on First Parish from Stockbridge to Kent and Front Street to allow the students to bike from St. Mary's to the Jenkins between 8:20 and 8:30. So if you're in that area Wednesday morning, please be aware there will be a slight delay as the students make their way from the St. Mary's parking lot to the Jenkins School. May 22nd, 7 o'clock, the Scituate Performing Arts Center is the Candidates Forum, hosted by the Scituate Chamber of Commerce and the Scituate Historic Society. It will begin promptly at 7 and end at 8:30. If you're down on Oceanside Drive, there are two projects going on. The seawall repair at Cedar Point and the seawall replacement that's starting on Oceanside. This is going to run from 22 Oceanside to 12 Oceanside Drive. There is fencing up. The opening down across from, excuse me, further down the big opening, you'll see where we have a laydown area. That opening is open. The one further towards Cedar Point is closed. That is so we can access the beach to make these seawall repairs. This project will take probably 6 months, so use caution if you're using the beaches in those areas. Tennis and pickleball court restoration project at the Recreation Department is underway. Resurfacing of the courts has begun. All 5 courts will be repaired and resurfaced. The 2 courts closest to the Recreation Department building will be converted into 4 standalone pickleball courts with semi-permanent weatherproof net systems. The 3 tennis courts closest to the Historic Society will be repaired and painted for tennis only. It should be another week before those courts. They should be open next week. Work on the Jericho boat ramp continues. The contractor began putting on the base coat of the asphalt last Friday. Again, this is a state project being done by the Mass Department of Fish and Game's Office of Fishing and Boating Access. It is not being done by the town of Scituate. They replaced the catch basins. They're doing paving work, making repairs to the revetment, and installing new lighting. We'll continue to have conversations with the contractor and the state to see when it might be possible to open the boat ramp for boaters, and we'll post updates as soon as we have anything. If you have an electric vehicle, the new charging stations at the town hall are now available for use by the public. These are the chargers at the far end of the parking lot in front of town hall, closest to the middle high schools. The gas company is working on gas line replacement on Jericho Road. Project runs from Hadley to Turner Lighthouse Road, so please use caution. That road has been closed in various sections during this work. The water department is replacing a water service tomorrow at 62 Gilson. Water will be shut off for an extended period in the area of 62 Gilson, including some homes on Foxwell and Bassin Lane. About 50 homes will be impacted. These homes were notified last week. This is the rain date for the project, and it will be done tomorrow. The DPW department continues to pave portions of Clap Road. This is a continuation from work that started on Friday. If you're traveling that area, please expect delays. And if you can avoid it, please go around so we can get that work done in a timely manner. It is now May, so the annual outdoor watering ban is now in effect for the town. Scituate Water Department has posted the annual water conservation measures, which only allows for outdoor watering before 9 a.m. and after 5 p.m. between May 1st and September 30th. Also between May 1st and September 30th, automatic irrigation systems may be used 1 day per week as designated by your voting precinct. You go to the water department page on the town website, for more information. Finally, the food pantry continues to have great need and see their clients increase. The most needed items this week: rice pilaf, jarred pasta sauce, sloppy joe, canned pasta with meat, microwave popcorn, pasta box sides, artificial sweetener, crunchy peanut butter, canned beets, pickles, and olives. That's what I have for this week, and I hope to see everybody Monday at Memorial Day.
Thank you, Jim. Now on to Maria Fenwick from the school committee. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning. Thank you. So we have a few events this week through the schools that are open to the public that I'd like to share. So Tuesday at 7 p.m. is our Scituate High School Pops concert, and this is the final concert of the year, during which seniors will be recognized. It will be held at the High School Performing Arts Center at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Starting on Wednesday, a select student art exhibition will be open at the Senior Center, and that will run through June 9th. This is a great opportunity to peruse some really impressive student art from some of our middle school artists, so I encourage folks to stop by and check that out. Also Wednesday, in the Gates Commons at the Gates Middle School, our 8th and 10th graders will unveil their civic action projects from 5 to 7 p.m. These are projects that students undertake to learn about civics. So they choose a topic of interest to them. They spend some time exploring what it would look like to make change in that area. And then they create a project based on what they learned. So students do this in 8th grade, and then they do it again in 10th grade to a greater depth. The showcase is an opportunity to see all these various projects that the students have done. I'll say many of us in town offices field questions from students as they learn about how change is made. It's really great to see. So I'll be there, and I encourage others to stop by as well. We have a school committee meeting this evening, Monday, 5/19. On the agenda, we will be hearing an update from our HR department as well as the robotics team. We will also be welcoming State Senator Patrick O'Connor and State Representative Patrick Kearney, who will give an update on state level education initiatives. Our meeting will start at 6 p.m. in the high school library or on Zoom. And lastly, I just want to reiterate the importance of being informed on question 1 on our ballot. This is in regard to the South Shore Vocational Technical High School. From the school committee perspective, we're really happy to be part of that high school, along with 8 other towns. Without this partnership, we would not be able to provide certain opportunities to students like automotive, carpentry, electrical, horticultural, and others that we know that some students really need and want. So our town overwhelmingly supported this new building project, which will expand both the number and kinds of pathways that are offered by that school and will allow more students to attend. So because we and the other 8 communities already voted to support the new project, we have already agreed to pay our part. Question 1 just addresses how we will do that. So question 1 asks whether we will pay for this via a debt exclusion, estimated to be about $92 to $102 per household per year. And if we fail that question, we are still on the hook for paying our part as a town. So that amount would need to come from our operating budget instead, which would have effects for our budget overall. It actually did fail very narrowly in Marshfield, and they're now currently grappling with how to pay their share out of their operating budget. So there's more information available about that project, what it looks like, how it all works, the tax implications, a lot of details at southshoretechproject.com. And I encourage people to go there and read more about the school and the project and to really understand what that question 1 means. So again, as others have mentioned, our town election will take place on Saturday, May 31st. Absentee ballots are available now for anyone who is not around on election day. They are available in the town clerk's office whenever town hall is open. And that's all for me.
Thank you, Maria. And finally, I would like to say to everyone that this is my final broadcast on Scituate Weekly News Update. As one of the retiring members of the Select Board, it's been a pleasure to have served everyone, but in particular, in relation to this broadcast, I would like to extend my thanks, as well as that of the entire board, to Seth Pfeiffer, who has put this program together. And it's been an amazing way to reach out to people. And without him and without his expertise, and frankly, without COVID, we wouldn't be doing this, because that's what provided everyone with the impetus to be able to use broadcast media and the internet to communicate with our citizens. So again, farewell. I'll see you around town, and thank you to Seth and everyone else in town. Have a good week.